Welcome back. This is part 7 of Let's Play Pokemon FireRed. Did I say Sapphire last time? Who knows? This episode, let me show you what happened. I'm not really a cheater, but I had to grind. So we have a Fearow now. I'm probably not going to use him on my final team. I know I say it like every single time, but I had to grind him up because I couldn't beat Gary. I just can't. So Fearow, he has a better attack, I guess, than he did before. Brand Volume 2 is still level 22. We're going to take on Gary, and I'm pretty sure we can do it. I kind of cheesed it because wait a second. Okay, yeah, I used the two, whatchamacallits. I used the two, rare candies to level him up. He evolves on level 20. I was trying to grind, but really when you get here, that's where it can be kind of frustrating, especially as a kid, because when you get to this point of the game, so you can't leave the city until you beat Gary and go visit Bill. And you can't go back to get any grass, to go into any grass other than the grass that's right outside of Cerulean City. So if you can't beat Misty and you can't beat Gary, you're stuck grinding in like level 6 to 10, grinding level 6 to 10 Pokemon to get your Pokemon to high enough levels where you can win. And that's very frustrating. And I remember as a kid getting to this point and realizing, oh my god, this is going to take forever, and just kind of, stopping, because when you first play the game, you don't realize how you're basically in a dead game because you have to train on this low level route. And Gary, he is the bane of your existence as a child. It's just, if you don't know he's coming, you're screwed every single time. But yeah, as you can see, Fearow is a little hardier, a little beefier than Spearow was. He knows Pursuit, which is a cool move. It won't really ever come into effect here, but it allows you, I think this is the one that allows you to attack before if someone, here we go. If Pokemon wants to switch, it allows you to attack before they switch out, so you get that extra bit of damage in. But yeah, he can take out this whole team, and it's kind of sad. Let me actually check. I want to make sure I got that right, because there's Pursuit. Feint Attack is the one that never misses, right? Pursuit is the one. Yeah, so it lets you attack Pokemon that's switching out. So a good move to have, definitely, and it's going to be super effective against Abra here, which I never understood why he'd bother to put the Abra on his team, because all it knows is Teleport. It can't do anything. It literally can't do anything. Okay, so that's Gary. Sadly, because this is the beginning of the episode, I don't really want to cut anything out. I'll just fight these guys on screen. Hey, guess what? I went to Bill's and got him to show me some rare Pokemon. That added a lot of pages to my Pokedex. After all, Bill's world famous as a Pokemaniac. He invented the Pokemon Store system on PC too. Since you're using the system, you should go thank him. Well, I better get rolling. Smell you later. And his glorious music plays, and he came back. Because in the new games, he gives me something. The Fame Checker. Which I actually really like this. I love that line. He's a chatty gossip, even though you're you're a silent protagonist. But the Fame Checker, I believe it lets you look up bios on people. The device that enables you to recall what you've heard and seen about famous people. And so, as you can see, right now you have Oak. What's this person like? To make a complete guide on the world. To make a complete guide on all the Pokemon in the world. That was my dream. What's this person like? Research Aid Lab. See, this is kind of random because that's not a real person, but you have people who are affiliated, and like Brock here, Mount Moon Man. Hi, I'm Mexican. So people who talk about other people, I guess. So like this guy in Mount Moon talks about Brock. He'll fall under his little section. So I think it's kind of neat. It's a neat little item, and as we go through the game, I'll definitely look back at it. But this is, as the color insinuates, Nugget Bridge. It's gold, like a golden nugget. And these guys are straight tools. I'm only 4 minutes in. I'm gonna have to just fight. I'm just gonna have to fight. I just have to do it because I'm not abusing fast forward. So basically, these guys are 5 trainers who stick up Pokemon trainers who come up to this bridge and they try to beat them. I guess as they get more worn out, if they try to go through. I mean, I don't know, because you can just go back and heal, so it's not really a tough thing. It's just really tedious because it's 5 trainer battles and they use some trash Pokemon, so you're just sitting there like 4 Pokemon what, none higher than level 10? Like, that's trash. I don't have time for that. And that's where this game, you can tell it's kind of archaic. The trainers, it's almost like, okay, so this is the first game, so battling was the premier concept of what's going on. It's collecting and battling. So what do? They throw a whole bunch of trainers just everywhere, and they don't really have any real bearing on anything other than the fact that they're in your way. And a lot of them, like these, you can't skip them because their line of sight goes across wherever you have to walk, so you can't really do anything beyond fight them. And so, I mean, it's tough because I said that I really enjoy this game, and I do. I love playing this game, but if you've played Sapphire, if you've played, I mean, Crystal, I wouldn't say go back to it. It's forgettable. I mean, if you never played the original games, then sure, it's definitely worth a playthrough. But even, you know, story-wise, I feel like Sapphire it flows a lot better. Or Ruby Sapphire, Emerald for that matter, it flows better. The locales are more interesting. Like I said, I like the cities and towns here, but the routes in between them are kind of just generic, and that's what I think takes away from the game, because everywhere you go is just like a field and some trainers, or a cave and some trainers. And granted, this game is based off of like the Kanto region, I guess, so it has like it's rooted around Tokyo, which has obviously some metropolitan districts, which is why you have places like Cerulean, and you have Saffron, Vermilion, and Celadon, and all those towns and cities surrounding. You know, Saffron is like the big cultural hub, or the center city. So you get this metropolitan feel throughout the game, but while the cities are interesting, the routes that connect them are just there because there has to be something in between every city, otherwise it would just be one big city. And that's where I think this game kind of falls apart. They're taxing to go through, and with the limited Pokemon selection, obviously, you just kind of suck it up and like, okay, well, I want to play the game, so I will. But I feel like I'm going to be complaining about it more than anything throughout the whole game, just because you can't really do anything about that. You just deal with it and move on. But here we go, youngster Timmy has a Sandshrew. I guess he was playing Leaf Green, because you can catch Sandshrew and Sandslash. Say that 5 times fast. Sandshrew and Sandslash in Leaf Green, and then Ekans and Arbok are the comparable Pokemon in FireRed. And you'll catch the same way we saw Ekans in that last route just out of Cerulean. That's where you'll catch Sandshrew. Again, I should have played Leaf Green. I actually couldn't get it to work originally. I was having a lot of trouble with playing it. So I had to opt for FireRed. Which again, I played Leaf Green as a kid, like when I got the games originally, when it came out, I guess 2005. I played Leaf Green. Leaf Green was like my go-to. I think I had a Venusaur in that game too, and I remember putting a lot of time into that game, like getting pretty high-level Pokemon, playing through it for a lot. But then I lost the game, and I have never found it since. It's probably somewhere in my closet, but I can't find it. It's gone. And it's kind of sad because I really enjoyed that game. I do have FireRed, which I left. It's in my Game Boy Advance. I don't have it with me. But again, if you play it, I mean, you don't really ever have to go back to it. Sapphire is a game that I will go back to. Emerald, even like Gold, Silver, Crystal, I go back to. But the original games and the remakes of them, it's so hard to go back to. And I'm the first person to say, when it comes to Pokemon selection, I'm not a big fan of having, or nearing 1,000 Pokemon now. I think with how fast the games seem to be coming out, and granted, it's about the same amount of time as it always was. It's like 2 or 3 years in between generations. It just seems like the types of Pokemon, and there are a lot of cool ones, but at the same time, there's so many, it's almost like, well, dang, I can't catch them all anymore, at least not in a reasonable amount of time, unless you just spend your whole day transferring Pokemon over game after game. And I did that up until Black. Pokemon Black is where I'm sorry, Pearl. Pearl is where I stopped because, not Pearl, but Diamond. Diamond is the last time I maxed out the Pokedex. I got, 493, I got the event Pokemon, and after that I couldn't do it. Because, so with Diamond and Pearl and Platinum, they had this thing, they got rid of the Safari Zone, brought back the PAL Park, or brought out the PAL Park. The PAL Park is somewhere which, if you're not familiar, using the DS, the original DS, the dual slot feature, so it has the DS game card on top and the Game Boy Advance on bottom, you could transfer Pokemon from your Game Boy Advance to the DS game on top. So you could do 6 at a time, put the Pokemon in boxes and send them over. You can catch them 100% catch rate in the PAL Park, and then you can add them to your game in the DS game. Use them however you want, they're yours, and you just bring them over. That was like the most time-consuming thing I've ever done in Pokemon. It was the worst thing. It was cool because it's like, yeah, I have all my Pokemon moved over, but once they were there, I was like, I had no reason to want to move them again once Black and White came out. And I love Black and White. I played a lot of Black and White, but I ended up just starting fresh, getting new Pokemon because there was no reason to try to transfer all the Pokemon over. So right now, I've never restarted my Diamond copy just because I want to make sure it has that 493 value sitting in the Pokedex every time I start it up. So it's kind of cool. Once you get, and then you get to Gen 6 and there's like 600, maybe 700 at that point. And Gen 6 is actually where I think a lot of the Pokemon took a hit. Because Gen 5, alright, this guy, I'll read his text. Congratulations, you beat our 5 contest trainers. You just earned a fabulous prize. You get a nugget from Mystery Man here. How would you like to join Team Rocket? We're a group of professional criminals specializing in Pokemon. Would you like to join? Are you sure? Come on, join us. He's peer pressuring me. So he's actually a rocket grunt in disguise. Kind of neat, I guess. But yeah, I think the Pokemon designs after Black and White got worse. Black and White was almost like a reboot to an extent. I think of how many Pokemon there were that kind of harkened back to older Pokemon. Like I think Cottony, which is kind of like Hoppip. I think of like the Girder, Timber Girder, Herder, that family line. It's kind of like your Machamp line. You had those types of similarities without it being overtly rip-off. Then you had your new ones that, like, okay, yeah, you might have your Ice-type Beartic that's basically Ursaring, and Cubchoo that's basically Teddy Ursa. I should have used Tackle or something. But then you also have the Ice Cream Pokemon, which I can't remember its name right now, whatever the crap it was. Cyclone, it started with a C. Did it? I don't even know, but Castelia Cone the Pokemon, let's go with that. You know, that's a new design, so I think it played it safe by, you know, bringing back tropes like, oh, there's a Patrat and there's a Rattata, but then they had plenty of Pokemon that were new and different, like Zoroark. It's kind of cool. It's like Ditto, but it looks nothing like Ditto, and it's actually a talented fighter of its own volition. It's not like it needs to copy someone just to, you know, fight at all. So I love Black and White. X and Y, you'll hear me say it time and time again, those games just didn't set well with me. The gameplay was bland. It was about as bland as the original games. It was so bland, it was so empty, so boring. I didn't care for the French setting. I think that, what city was it? The big city. Oh my god, it's slipping my mind now, but that big city where you can enter from like the north, east, south, and west, the round one, that one was a terribly designed city. It was awful because if you spent a lot of time with the game, I'm sure you could know, you know, front to back how to get places. And yeah, on the main streets, it's not that bad, but because they're alleyways that actually have story-related, you know, areas in them. Can we, yeah, we can't go in there yet. Have story-related areas in them, you can't deal with it. I hate it. Come up here, you can get TM, well, it used to be TM45 was Paralysis Thunderwave, now it's Attract. I'll probably never use it. Oh god, I have to fight this guy, don't I? Yep. I'm gonna try to skip as many of these guys as possible. Like I said, I'll come back and fight them. I might even just save them for when I catch someone. Because he looks like he has killer sideburns, like sideburns that turn into a mustache. Kind of crazy. But yeah, I'm probably gonna skip as many of these guys as I can and come back and fight them when I have someone I want to use. And that's the other thing I was thinking about. Okay, there's 4 Pokemon you can use that acquire trait evolutions. Geodude and its final evolution, Graveler. Abra, final evolution, Alexander. Machop, Machamp, and who's the last one? Ghastly and Gengar. And I wanted to use Ghastly or I wanted to use an Abra. But honestly, because you can't get their final evolution without setting up, a trade or something, it's not even worth it. Like, I want to, but there's really no reason to do it. So it's kind of a shame, because I'm probably going to end up using one of the evolutions. I'll probably get Vaporeon. I'm thinking right now that Vaporeon's about the only... Sneak this, sneak... No! I didn't even run! I like this kid. He says, Dad took me to a great party on the SSN at Vermilion City. That's something I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to show off the truck. I actually did it once in my own game, where basically what you have to do, I'll explain it again when we get there, but you have to get cut to advance the story off the SSN, but then faint to one of the trainers so that the boat like never leaves, and then you can come back and surf at the waters and go find the truck. I did that perfectly one time, and I never found the truck. Like, the boat just left when I came back to get on it, so I don't really understand how that works. But maybe I screwed up. Maybe I went too far in. I'm not mad, bro. I'm not mad. Alright, so this one is kind of stupid. It gives you the option to go here, but you can't. Like, you still have to fight everybody. It's so stupid. I don't even know if you can miss the hiker either. Yeah, I really don't know. You might be able to skip the hike. I don't think he'll come all the way up, but he might. He might, and I wouldn't put it past the game to do that. Nidoran's kind of scary because it has poison point, and if it does poison you, it's just unnecessary. Because I'm not gonna die from the poison. Like, I'm one-shotting all these guys, so it's not that important. But it is, it's there. It's an option. I'm almost tempted to go catch Nidoran and train him into like a Nidoking or a Nidoqueen. The only problem with that is Nidoqueen is not. It's poison. Nidoking and Nidoqueen are poison brown. So when it comes to Psychic types, I have 2 Pokemon at least that are weak to Psychic. And that's definitely not what you want to have happen. Granted, there's only one Psychic leader in the gym. Yeah, there's only one Psychic leader, so it shouldn't be too big a deal. Oh, dang it. So if you... Basically, you have to fight the hiker if you don't want to come back for that item. If you lure that person out, Camper Flint here, if you lure him out by stepping in front of him, he will walk down to you. And you can just get that item without having to come back with Cut. But I figure I'll come back anyway. Re-explore, make sure I pick up all the different items that I need. Yeah, I'm not going to stop this part until I get to Bill. Once I'm done with Bill, I'm like, yo, I'm not coming. I'm done with Cerulean City. I'm not coming back here. Other than, obviously, to get those items. Okay, and Peck. Let's go with Peck, why not? Just keep one-shotting everything. I always thought it was neat, though, that Pharaoh had the signature move, Drill Peck. It's like it goes from having Peck to, oh yeah, we're gonna add a corkscrew motion into this, and now we got Drill Peck. Alright. Sneak this, and the last girly, we can't skip it. Oh no, I thought we could skip her, okay. Haley, there was a Kelsey on this route. Really not too diverse with their name choices. Yeah, Pharaoh, I almost feel like Pharaoh's gonna be on my team just because it's sunk cost at this point. He's level 24. I need a flyer. I mean, I was gonna possibly use Dodrio, but I mean, I have a Pharaoh. The reason why I don't like using Pharaoh though is because later in the game you can just catch Pharaoh straight up, and I hate when you can catch Pokemon in the wild that you're going to use on your team, because it always feels like you wasted your time. Obviously, they're going to be a little bit stronger if you actually, raise them yourself and choose what moves they learn and don't learn. But at the end of the day, if you can catch them outside, like you can't catch a Vileplume, for example, the final evolution of Oddish. You just can't. So if I use an Oddish or if I use a Victory Bell, I feel special because I'm like, yeah, the only person who can use those are me because I trained them and I raised them up. I use a Leaf Stone. You can't just catch those in the wild. But Pharaoh, it's like you can find those pretty commonly. So it's unfortunate. I don't really want to use Pharaoh, but at this point, I'd rather use him and not have to train up a whole, otherwise I'd have one team member, essentially is what I'm saying. And that's pretty bad. But this point of the game really doesn't give you a lot of options. This cape is a famous date spot. Misty, the gym leader, has high hopes about this place. Hello, are you here alone? If you're out, it's an early escape. Well, it should be as a couple. Alright then. Rub it in my face, why don't you? But this is Bill's house. In later games, it becomes his grandpa's house. And what's this? There's a Pokemon here, but no Bill. Hi, I'm a Pokemon. No, I'm not. Call me Bill. I'm a true blue Pokemaniac. Hey, what's that? What's with that skeptical look? I'm not joshing you, lady. I screwed up. What does he say for it's a guy? I'm not joshing you, man. I don't remember that. So how about it? Help me out here. Sure. Okay. I do like how he has the Cerulean City theme music. It's probably the most interactive thing you've ever had to do in Pokemon ever. And this must be a touchscreen computer because I see no mouse and I see no keyboard. I'm just assuming that is a touchscreen. If it's a touchscreen, why does it have the huge tower? I don't know. There you go. There's Bill. We saved Bill. Look at that camera pan. That's legit. I love that. Yeehaw. Thanks, lady. I owe you one. So did you come see about my Pokemon collection? You didn't? That's a bummer. And we get the SS ticket. So people are really have a lot of goodwill in this game. He gives us the SS ticket, which allows you to get on the SSN, yada yada. It's cool, I guess. And if you want to see his Pokemon, you actually have to leave and come back in, which is kind of stupid because you have to reset the computer in a sense. You should look at the monitor. And you have Eevee. All it does is give you the scene data, not the catch data, which is, again, kind of pointless. I mean, if you're going to try to max out the Pokedex, you need to catch it anyway, so you have to get other Eevees and breed them, or I guess you can breed, but not till after the game, after you beat the game. Is there anything over here? No. This is where you catch Suicune in Pokemon Crystal. There's a little cape over here. And back down we go. Like I said, I'll fight all those guys later. There's also someone to the left of this bridge here. And you can catch Oddish over there as well. But now we can go into the back of that house, which apparently got robbed, according to that police officer when we talked to him or her. I can't tell if it's a guy or a girl. It looks like a guy, but then this gen, all the police officers were Officer Jenny, so they're all women. So I don't really know what that's all about, but maybe for game purposes, they're all dudes. Yeah, they're a guy, so blue text. The people here are robbed. It's obvious the Team Rocket's behind the most heinous crime, yada yada. Okay, forcefully taking things. I always like the detail in this house, the footsteps, like those are Pokemon footsteps, like they use the Pokemon to rob the place. They bust out the hole in the back. And I love the fact that they don't check, oh god, they don't check behind the house. But we'll fight this guy. You actually can't walk past him, he'll just turn and catch you. Like if you just want to be a bystander and walk away, you can, which is kind of cool, I guess. Hunter Grunt, no, Rocket Grunt, Machop. Easy fodder for Firo. I do think it's funny how you can see Machop's rib cage, like the outline of his ribs. I kind of feel bad for him. It's like he's not beefed up yet. He needs to hit the weights, get on that protein. Oh, and Drowsy. Maybe I'll use a Drowsy. I do kind of want a Psychic type. I'm not really a fan of Hypno, but I mean it's something. Drowsy with his brown bottom, his legs dipped in chocolate. And let's go with Razor Leaf. Oh god, my foot completely fell asleep. This is going to be awful standing up. I've been sitting here for like an hour and a half recording and editing these, so it's definitely completely asleep. I'm slapping my leg, can't even feel that. Golly, it's all the way up my leg. That's definitely not safe. This will be the last one I record for a minute. Okay. And okay, I'll return the TM I stole. TM28, which is Dig. Dig is actually a pretty useful move. You dig and then you come back up, and it's pretty cool. Definitely going to use that for a poke. What do you have to say? Team Rocket must be trying to dig their way into no good. Okay, and I mean, that's going to be the end of this part, I guess. Don't hop over that ledge. We're going to head south. Actually, before I leave, I'll show you one other thing. Route 5, really tiny route. There's nothing interesting here other than the Pokemon Daycare. Pokemon Daycare is interesting because There are 2 of them in this game. So this one, he only lets you raise 1 Pokemon. 1 Pokemon at a time, which means you can't breed. Later in the game, there is an area with 2, so if you are inclined to do that, you can breed, but it's not till after you beat the game. But I will show it off when we get there. And we actually will be able to, well, I guess it doesn't require a time system. The battery's not dead on this cartridge, so to speak, so we can do that. But in the next episode, we're going to continue on south to whatever may lie ahead of us, taking the underground path, because as you can tell, you can't go this way, because dude's thirsty. Look at this. I'm on guard. I'm thirsty though. Wait, road's closed. Yeah, so you can't go that way. So we're going to head to the underground path, see what lies ahead of us for our fine female protagonists. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great day.